What's up, airplane collectors? Welcome to a special video. This is your host Ray. Today's video is a model review on the Gemini200 Emirates Airbus A380 in the Dubai Expo 2021 to 2022 special livery. This model was released in March of 2022, if my memory serves correctly. And fun fact, this is going to be the single largest model in my entire model collection. And this will also be the largest model on this channel, so yeah, I guess this is somewhat special. So sit back, relax, and let's get this review started. So I'm going to talk about the box briefly. It's pretty large because the model is huge, so it has to house the model. It's 37.5 centimeters long, 37.5 centimeters tall, and 17 centimeters wide here, at least on this side. So it's a pretty large box. The box art's pretty cool, and I'll show you guys around the box right now, so I'll try my best. Here's the front. Here's the bottom, right side, top, left side, and here's the back. The back of the box contains a computer-generated image of the airplane with a transparent wing to show you what's behind the wing, as well as some specifications and other information, so feel free to read this if you'd like to. When you open up the box, you're greeted with this giant model, a display stand, and two landing gear door configurations. One of them is the retracted position, which only contains the gear door covers, and the extended position. Weighing in at 4 pounds, this model is an absolute monster. It's about 35.5 centimeters long, the wingspan is 41 centimeters, and it's 12.5 centimeters tall. Accurate to 1 to 200 scale, but very large overall. Let's start the in-depth review at the front of the aircraft. Here you can see the nose and various printed details. Everything up here looks fine, no shape looks good, no complaints from that point of view. Let's continue the review. I'll show you guys the left side of the fuselage. Here you can see much of the printed detail and the livery. Everything looks good on the fuselage, no complaints on the fuselage at all. Here's the vertical stabilizer, and unfortunately this is where my complaints begin. Everything up here looks fine except for this little paint issue here. You can see some of the light blue paint either wasn't applied correctly or it chipped, because some of the dark blue paint under it is starting to show there. So I'm not sure what happened, but it did have that paint issue on there. Here's the right side of the aircraft. Everything looks good over here except for a little bit of residue that I noticed on the tail. This is also present on the left side, but it wasn't as noticeable, hence why I didn't say anything about it. I'm not sure what happened, but I guess the paint was either applied wrong or just something was left there. And I wasn't able to wipe it off, so yeah, something odd happened in the manufacturing process. But aside from that, everything looks good. I'm now going to show you guys the right side of the aircraft. Here you can see it's pretty much the same as the left side, so I won't provide much commentary. Moving on to the wings. The wings on this aircraft look really good, a lot of detail on them. Here you can see some of the printed and molded detail. Very cool overall, no complaints on the wings. And I'll try my best to show you guys the underside. The underside of the wings are obviously not as detailed. Here you can see some sort of, I'm not sure what that is, but there's just some sort of printed detail there. A lot of molded detail down here, and on the bottom of the left wing, you can see the registration of this aircraft, so that was a cool feature. The wingtip fences on this model are absolutely gorgeous. Here you can see the shape is good on the right side here. This printed Emirates logo looks good. Let's transition to the rear of the airplane for a little bit. Here you can see the horizontal and vertical stabilizers again. Everything back here looks good aside from the complaints I mentioned about the vertical stabilizer earlier. No complaints back here. The APU looks fantastic. There's even a little hole. Let's talk about external features for a little bit. So the external features on this model include 3D light things, I'm not sure exactly what to call them, as well as Wi-Fi domes and antennas. Here in the front of the aircraft you can see an antenna. It's very small, I'm not sure what dome this is, but I don't think it's Wi-Fi. Two lights right here, both of which are 3D, and this antenna back here. All of these look good, no complaints on those. And if we move to the rear of the aircraft, you can see the middle antenna again, the Wi-Fi dome. Looks good, no complaints, and a very small antenna back here. So up top, there's not that many external details to worry about, so you don't really have to worry about anything poking you. Here's the bottom of the aircraft. Here's the front portion of the bottom of the aircraft more specifically. There's a large antenna here and a very small antenna here, which surprisingly enough is glued in quite nicely, so if I give it a little poke it won't break, you can barely feel it, and you won't poke yourself, so be careful when handling the model, but those are fairly durable. Back here there's two more small antennas. There's an orange one right here on the Dubai Expo livery here, or not livery, Dubai Expo logo, that's also orange if you can see it. This one right here, and there's a very small one down here that is blue. Here you can clearly identify the blue antenna by some sort of glue stain that happened here. I'm not sure what's up with that, but just beware there might be glue stains on your model, and the Gemini200 logo. I almost forgot one of the most important elements of this video, the engines. The engines on this model are absolutely fantastic. Here you can see they're pretty large, they're good, and you can see the details on the fan blades are accurate. Well, not on the fan blades, but on the spinner spirals, or the spinners themselves, are pretty good. Unfortunately, the spinners on this are pointed instead of rounded like on the real thing, but I mean, you can't really change up an entire mold just to conform to one model. And of course, the fan blades do spin, so it's pretty, overall, really nice detail on the engines. Here's the side of the engines if you'd like to take a look. The exhaust nozzles look good, the pylons look good, lots of printed detail on them as well, no complaints. Here are the engines on the right side. Here you can see it says October 2021 to March of 2022, and also no complaints here. Now let's move on to the landing gear. Here's the nose wheel. The nose wheel looks good. It spins a full 360 degrees in any direction. The wheels do rotate. They are kind of stiff, but they do spin. And this is a magnet attached gear, so you can pull it out like that and put it back in there. So very good overall. Now here is the nose gear cover, so you can display the model with the gears retracted. Overall, the fit is pretty terrible, if I have to be honest. I'm going to have to sand this down and do some modifications for it to fit properly. But the fit isn't very well, and it's very loose overall because it isn't magnet attached, not on this one at least. And the model doesn't include two of these little picks, so you can remove the retracted gear cover configuration like this. So that's that. Here's the main landing gear. The main landing gear look really good, except for one of the gears with the 6 wheels on it actually came broken. And by broken, I mean the wheel came off, as you guys can see here. So that was kind of disappointing. It was an easy fix. The gears, I guess they're fine. Just beware the magnets might be messed up and they might arrive broken. The detail's good, the wheels roll, and no complaints from there. Here's what the aircraft looks like with the main gear covers attached. The fit on these is actually pretty good. Here's the bottom of the aircraft. I'm going to try and give you guys the best view possible without damaging the model. Very detailed down here. You can see the Dubai Expo logo here. Looks really cool. Here's the front of the aircraft so you can examine the wing flex. The wing flex on this model is absolutely fantastic. You can see the wings actually bend downwards as they do in real life when the airplane is on the ground. So very realistic overall. Either it's my eyes playing with me or I might have actually seen this genuinely. The cockpit windows appear to be tilted a little bit right in terms of the printing, so the printing doesn't look like it's the best. And after a long video and a lot of physical activity, the review is over. Now time for my personal opinion and my recommendation. Overall, this model is giant. It's huge. So if you're even considering buying this model, make sure you have enough space to display it. I cannot stress this enough. I've ran into this problem myself where I can't display a model because it's too big. So make sure you have space for it. The details are really good. It did have its problems. Yeah, they usually don't happen on 1 to 200 scale models, but you never know with Gemini200s. So I do recommend this model to other collectors. It's very expensive, it's huge, but honestly it's well worth it. So that's my opinion on it. And that's the end of the video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more airplane and siren content. And please consider dropping a like and subscribing. This video was especially hard to make due to just the sheer size of this model. And I appreciate if you guys like and subscribe. So yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.